Here's the thing though, everybody doesn't reach seven figures because that shit is hard. A lot of businesses want to hit that seven-figure mark, right? We're like, we want our $1 million business. And I thought that that was something that everybody wanted. If you don't want $1 million business, then you can hop off, right? But I thought that was something that everybody wanted. And for me, when I first started my entrepreneurial journey, I was like, hell yeah, I'm about to be a millionaire. This is about to be $1 million business. And I started my business with that goal in mind. Here's the thing though, everybody doesn't reach seven figures because that shit is hard. And it takes a lot. Okay, it takes a lot. And for me, one of the things that I decided to do when I started was to not do shit regularly because I didn't want regular results. I wanted extraordinary results. And so I knew that that was going to require investment. I knew that that was going to require some sacrifices. And I knew that I had to have something that bridged the gap between where I was then and where I was going, right? So here's the thing. I used business credit as my gap filler, okay? I used business credit as my gap filler, as something that stood in the gap for me while I was building my seven-figure business. And I don't think that people know how powerful this can be as a tool inside of your business because we're so used to just saying business credit, get business credit here, get business credit there, right? But for what? For what? Okay. So today I'm going to talk about my five secrets and how I actually leverage these secrets to build and to fuel a seven-figure business. So let me talk about my first secret. Who knows this Kendra-ism? Hashtag leverage, not debt. Say it with me. Leverage, not debt. Now, for the people that have been rolling with the Boss Architect for a minute, you already know what that is. But I'm going to tell the people that don't know what leverage, not debt is right now. In order to start building your seven-figure business credit, okay, you got to stop being scared of credit. You got to stop being scared of getting and building credit and understanding that credit, the acquisition of credit, does not necessarily put you in debt. The acquisition of credit puts you in a position to be leveraged as long as you understand how to generate revenue in your business. So if you're using business credit properly and you're using it as a leveraging tool to generate revenue, you will never be indebted. You will always be leveraged. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys an example of this. I remember when I started out my journey in building business credit. I'm not going to tell y'all the story about the Dell laptop because everybody's already heard that before. So I'm going to give you another example about how leverage, not debt, was used. When I first started out my journey, when I was a baby at the Boss Architect, right? I had some initial net 30 vendors. How many people? Everybody knows about the tier 1 credit vendors. We're not going to even talk about that. But I had some initial net 30 vendors. And these were from places like office supply stores and all of this stuff. And initially I was like, well, I don't have anything I need to buy from these places, right? What am I going to get from these places? I don't need any staplers and Post-it notes. And I done already bought all of that, right? But what I did was I started finding ways to utilize these vendors and start to shift some of the expenses that I had for my household over into business credit, which then freed up some cash flow. Okay, follow me on this leverage, not debt thing. So I took that first little cash infusion that I got because I saved like $800 in cold hard cash by shifting some of my personal expenses over to those net 30 vendors. I was able to book a sponsorship spot inside of a business networking event. That sponsorship spot got me a vendor table. Okay, so I was able to set up my vendor booth. It got me 15 minutes on stage speaking. So I took $800 of debt that I had accumulated and I went out to that event. I used the $800 to secure the spot, buy a ticket to LA because that's where the event was. And after I left that stage, I made $6,000 that day. So let me ask everybody a question. I made $6,000 in sales from that little $800 of debt that I took on, right? So let me ask you guys something today. How many people know that I was not indebted at all by using business credit? I was leveraged because I understood my business model. I understood that this was a revenue generating activity in my business that would help me generate revenue. And so I took a bet on myself, but I also had a strategy for utilizing that business credit. I'm going to ask you guys that are watching with me right now, all the folks on Facebook and IG, do you understand your revenue generating strategy for your business? Do you understand that if you know how to generate revenue, you're never going to be indebted. You will always be leveraged as long as you are hedging your bets and you're making sure that you're investing in the right things in your business. Now imagine, because this is what some people do. Imagine if I would have got a little money for my business and went and invested it in some business cards. Well, hell, that wasn't going to help me generate revenue. Imagine if I had taken that credit and invested it in getting somebody to build me some social media templates. Well, hell, that wouldn't have generated no revenue either. I'm speaking to somebody today. But what I did was invest directly into something that I knew would generate revenue in my business. So that's secret number one. Y'all good with leverage? Not that. Hold on. I got so excited about that. My hair started falling out my bun. Okay. So let's stop being scared of credit. Let's understand that if we build business credit and we have the business model to go along with it, you'll never be indebted. You'll always be leveraged. All right. Secret number two. What would a big business do, or as we say at the Boss Architect, WWA, BBD. Oh, come on, somebody. Y'all know that's sexy. WWA, BBD. Not what would Jesus do, because we want to do what Jesus do, but we're going to say what would a big business do today. How many people were told when they first started their business, and y'all better tell the truth and shame the devil on here today. How many people were told when they first started their business to, the way you're going to get some money for your business is you're going to write you a business plan and you're going to put on your best Easter suit and you're going to get your briefcase and go into the bank and talk to that nice banker at the bank, and that nice banker at the bank is going to give you a business loan because of your business plan and your Easter suit that you put on that day. Anybody? Is that just me? And I'm going to tell you, I know that this is the truth because I used to be that banker that was sitting on the other side looking at y'all crazy when you walked in there with your Easter suit and your business plan. Because guess what, friends? Let me lean in real close. That is how small businesses think they get funded. When in actuality, the way that small businesses get funded is based on their personal credit. So when you're thinking like a small business and you're going to get funding like a small business, you're going to always run into having to use your personal credit all the time because that's what small businesses are taught. Okay. But when you shift into what would a big business do, this methodology, I want you to think about something. Does the CEO of Dell have to go and give his personal credit when Dell is getting funding? Does the CEO of Target, have to go and use their personal credit when they get funding? And multi-billion-dollar companies use other people's money all the time. So don't say they don't need the money because they make billions. No, they use other people's money all the time, which is why they have billions. Let's be clear. When you're thinking like a big business, you understand that you no longer have to utilize your personal credit all the time to get funding for your business because you know that there's an alternative way and it's not the traditional way. Okay. And that way definitely does not include you going into the bank with your Easter suit and your business plan, thinking somebody is going to give you a loan based on your business plan. As a matter of fact, I can tell most people where their business plans go. Where their business plans go, when you walk into the bank with your business plan and your briefcase and your Easter suit, once again, I'm speaking from experience. I was a business lender for a long time. They go in the trash can. And if they're good, if the person is nice, they may put it in the shred bin. Let's shift into our big business mindset and start thinking outside of the box. Just because this is how everybody is traditionally taught to get funding, that does not mean that that is the only way to get funding for your business. Secret number 3 is hashtag flex on your business. Now, let me talk to the people real quick. Come on, people of the internet. Let me bring y'all in real quick. I deal with business owners all the time that have an issue with doing this, flexing on their business. And when I mean flexing on your business, I mean presenting your business as the Fortune 500 company that it is, having your ducks in a row, presenting your business as a real commercial entity that's ready for real business credit and real business funding. And a lot of people have an issue with that because they're like, well, Kendra, I'm not a big business yet, and I don't have the money to be what do you mean I have to have a business address? I'm just a home-based business. What do you mean I got to get a website? I'm just a small business. And here's what I'm going to say, friends, and I say this with love. Everybody that has a problem with flexing on their business has no problem with flexing out here on Instagram and Facebook about their real life. Because I know a whole bunch of people that have no problem out here perpetrating a fraud and living that life on IG and on Facebook. But then when it comes time to present their business in authority, we start doing the Homer Simpson meme, backing up into the bushes. Let me tell y'all something. The way that you attract big business credit is by starting to walk in your authority and to start walking, talking, and looking like a big business. And I always say at the Boss Architect, when we talk about positioning yourself in authority and getting your big business flex on, you know what that means? It means you got to look good on paper, online, and in person. When I mean flexing on your business, I mean, if you want to get funded like a big business, if you want to start building your 7-figure business credit, then you got to start walking and talking and looking like a 7-figure business. When somebody says, hey, you know what? I need you to, in order to build your business persona, I need you to invest like $60 or $90 a month to get you a physical address. That's too much. I can't do that right now. Okay, I need you to do like another $20 to get your website. I can't invest that right now. I need you to actually have a business phone number, right? That is a real actual landline phone number that can be listed in 411. That costs too much money. What in hell make you think somebody gonna give you some credit then? I'm waiting, right? You have to be willing to walk the walk, talk the talk, and look the part. So like when you're building 7-figure business credit, you got to have a little skin in the game, right? And newsflash, I wasn't even going to talk about this today, but a part of your credit profile and your scoring model, your risk score, is based on what you actually invest in your business yourself. It's based on what you invest in your business yourself. Do you know that these credit bureaus in their scoring models, when people are looking at you, they are also looking at, are you setting the example for what you want other people to do in your business? And if you don't invest in your business, guess who else won't invest in your business? Lenders, customers, all of the above. I said I wasn't going to do this today, but flex on your business. That was secret number 3. We got 2 more secrets. That's secret number 4. Ascend the ladder. Business credit is not a linear process. I know we want it to be linear. We want it to like everything just lines up and just fall into place. It's not, okay? It's actually a process that got a whole bunch of turns, dips, dives. You got to, chisel away at some rocks every now and again. It's not linear. which when we talk about ascending the ladder, there are very specific stage gates when you're building business credit that you have to be well aware of when you start, and that you have to be okay with. You have to be okay with. When you start out with your baby credit, and I talk about this in my free masterclass, but I have 3 business credit categories. I don't do the like 4 and 5 tiers like everybody talks about. 3 credit categories. Y'all want to hear the 3 Kendra's credit categories? Baby credit, teenage credit, and grown folks credit. Oh, that's the sexiest one. Baby credit, teenage credit, and grown folks credit. And you have to master each one of these before you ascend the ladder. Here's where a lot of people get tripped up in trying to build business credit. When we first start building business credit, we don't really know what our profiles are looking like. We are so focused on like getting a pay debt score from Dun & Bradstreet. We don't have any other business credit scores built nowhere. Our profile is not solid. And then we go and want to apply for the American Express Platinum on the first day we start building credit and wonder why we're getting declined. Because we've gone all the way to grown folks credit and we have not ascended the ladder. It took me 18 months to get to grown folks credit. It took me 18 months, but that was 18 months of mastering baby credit and teenage credit, and also nurturing the baby credit and the teenage credit. And you guys have to understand, this is a nurturing process. When you get to where you can cross over to the next phase, you can't just forget about the baby. You can't throw the baby in the trash. And then when you get in the teenage phase, you can't throw the teenager away either, even though sometimes we want to throw the teenager away, but you can't. You have to continue to nurture each one of these until you get to grown folks credit, and then you still gonna have to nurture all of them. So you have to nurture your credit throughout each phase of your journey. Number 5, secret number 5 is stack the grid. Tanika Johnson, Coach T, said the TBA way is the only way. If y'all don't know who TBA is, that's the Boss Architect team Boss Architect. TBA, Team Boss Architect. Here's the thing, friends. If you want to truly make headway in building your business credit, you have to get super organized. And we do something called stacking the grid. So long story short, there are multiple business credit bureaus. Y'all hear me? Multiple business credit bureaus. Business credit does not report like personal credit, meaning if you get one business account and you think it's going to report across all of the bureaus, it does not in most cases. You have to understand where each account reports to, what their reporting structure is, how long they're going to be reporting, when they're going to be reporting. And what we do inside of the Boss Architect is we create a grid that says, okay, this is your account. This is where it reports to. This is when we need to follow up. And the way that you build a holistic business credit profile is by making sure all of your grids are stacked. So in the traditional way of building business credit, people will say, oh, you only need 5 vendors total to move on to the next tier. And we have a whole bunch of people that join Credit Architect and like, I don't need to start over because I already have trade lines. I already have my 5 or 6 vendors. I guarantee you they're not 5 or 6 across all of the bureaus. Because you may have to have 15 vendors just to have 5 across all of them. You may have to have 20 just to have 5 across all of them, right? So we think a little differently. And using this process and stacking our grid, we get some really amazing results. Those are my 5 secrets that I use to build business credit, 7-figure business credit.